Welcome, Sagittarius, to your March mid-month astrology overview. Each calendar month is not linked to one zodiac sign. The sun travels through two, but by the heart of the month, it's in the fourth week of the first of those signs, a period of culmination. We've got used to the energy. For you, it's Pisces. But on the 20th of March, the sun moves into Aries, the beginning of the new Western tropical astrological year, and a fire sign like yours. But there's a big difference between those two energies. My new mid-month series is to help the transition through that third week. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. A very warm welcome, Sagittarius. You can relate to this video through your ascendant, the sun, or the moon. By the end of it, you'll have a clear picture of your relationship, financial, energy, and work prospects. So on the screen is your event chart on the 15th. And there's the collective in the sign of Pisces, including the sun. It's got about another 5 days to go in the sign of Pisces. Now, the big picture is that Saturn was through your fourth house until the 14th of February, apart from that 3 months and a week last year, over the last 2.5 years. So you got quite a lot of experience of fourth house energy, which is essentially about security, physical and more emotional. It's about family affairs. It can be about working from home, particularly with Mercury, the planet of commerce, in residency. But Mars, the planet of action, is also there along with the North Node. And Mars is really important because it brings energy, it brings desire, but it can bring impatience. And the fourth house can be sensitive. The sign of Pisces, of course, is watery, it's very empathetic, it's very atmospherically attuned. So your emotions have been very much center stage recently. But in this last week of the sun's transition through Pisces, he is going to forge a very constructive link to Uranus. Uranus has been mainly disruptive to you, I feel, over the last 7 years. It's made it difficult to get into routines and patterns. Now, you're a free spirit, they're not necessarily your greatest thing, but everybody needs some structure. But what you can do over the next week is, if you are trying to declutter your home, make more space in the practical sphere, the sun and particularly Mars will give you the desire to do it. So if you have been putting off some home-based chores, you can catch up. If you do work from home or want to work from home, you can do it. You can juggle all the different demands. Now, of course, we need to look at the moon, and it is in a conjunction with Pluto. So your communications can feel a bit intense, perhaps potentially with neighbors, siblings, but also we've got a cluster of energy in your fellow fire sign of Aries, which is where the sun is going to soon arrive. And one of those players is, of course, Saturn, which can slow things down, particularly when it comes to being more outgoing and social. But that is your adventure on the 15th, with the exception of your ruler Jupiter. Jupiter is now traveling direct, which is great. But Jupiter on the 20th, when the sun arrives in Aries, brings you great blessings, because then he's in a wonderful link to Mars. And that change that you may be making around your inner world, potentially your emotional world, or around your physical home, can really be energized in a very bright and positive way. Now, the moon's moved on from that intense conjunction with Pluto to a delightful one with Venus. Venus in the fifth house can be quite flirty, but of course, in its early arrival in the sign of Aries, Saturn provided quite a cool conjunction. So there may have been some tensions around a romantic situation or even a creative one, but that brings some potential blessings. And also, the sun moving into this area can bring vitality. The sign of Aries is about initiation. The rulership of Mars is about thrust. And you're going to feel much more outgoing again, which is brilliant. But don't underestimate that this collective here, with Mercury going direct on the 20th too, suggests that even if your home and emotional life over the last couple of years has come with some challenges, some headwinds. What Saturn taught you was a lot of discipline, a lot of wisdom, and a lot of understanding of your deeper emotional needs. But you are making a transition from a sensitive phase of the year to a much more outgoing one. Now, when the sun arrives in Aries, it is met by the dreamy, drifting Neptune for the first time in 150 years in Aries. And also, after about 4 days, it's going to meet up with Saturn, and that will create resistance. But as long as you've got ideas that you're passionate about, things you want to be creative about, you are entering a much more vibrant phase. And once the sun gets beyond Saturn, things will become a lot bubblier for you. But I think the big takeout of the last few years for you is that it's important to be in touch with our inner feelings. You're a sign that's been very buccaneering, very charismatic, and that has been something that's held you in great stead over the years. But I think the last couple of years have just taught you about the value of your base, foundation, and the people that you're closest to. And as you make this transition this March, just bear that in mind. Stay in touch with your inner voice, and it will guide you most of all. So, to summarize, Sagittarius, as far as your romantic situation is concerned, I do feel that once the sun gets into Aries and gets beyond Saturn, things can get much more exciting in terms of interacting with others. As far as any situation you're dealing with, do take it back to base. How does it feel? But professionally, because Jupiter's in the eighth house of long term finances, with Mars coming into that wonderful energized trine, if you put your soul into something, what you really believe at a heartfelt level, it can move forwards. And with the sun forging that brilliant link to Uranus, listening to your hunches, but also go into things that are inventive and different can pay off handsomely for you too. If you've yet to watch your Jupiter direct video, please click on the screen for that. If you've yet to watch your Venus in Aries video, please click on that. You can sign up for your free daily horoscope by going to the link beneath this video. I fire these out each morning to your device. It's your cosmic pit stop each day, and I've written them for years. And also, if you'd like to work with me one-to-one, please see the testimonials below. If you'd like to order your personal horoscopes 50% off, please apply Astro 26 at the checkout, or you can apply Draco 26 for Natal and Draconic, and they're totally unique for the person they're produced for. They're great value and very accurate too. All the best and goodbye.